Hey guys, welcome to another update on the album. I've just had this through in my inbox. You guys are already sending through music and already remixing and working on stuff. This guy, Leander Farhad, got in touch on Reddit, I think it was, and asked me for a clip that I posted on Instagram, and he's already made this. So already you guys are making and chipping in and putting towards the album, so this is completely awesome. Man, Leander, thank you so much for sending that through. Real good start to the week. I have just worked out the map for the whole trip. This is currently the map. Already, we've clocked up nearly 3,000 miles just to do this. We're starting off in York. I'm gonna make sure I'm there for the 1st of March to start this whole thing. We're gonna go down to Leeds, across to Manchester. There's a couple of people in Liverpool, so I'm hoping we can maybe make that work somehow. All the way down to Bristol. So if anybody has any stops between Manchester and Bristol, down this west side of England, let me know. That'd be great to fill up some gaps there. Gonna go across to Brighton. I was considering for a while whether or not I go down to London, but London parking is a bit of a nightmare if I'm honest. I think London might be a bit of a risk, and actually I might end up parking in a place in London that takes some of you guys maybe an hour and a half to get across London to come see where I am, whereas a train from London to Brighton is actually only, I think it's an hour, 50 minutes. So it's probably quicker for those of you that are in London to come down to Brighton than it is for me to park somewhere in London. Then we're gonna go back up over to the Eurotunnel. This is where it gets a bit exciting back into Europe. So I'm hoping the whole of this trip round the UK at the moment is gonna be maybe a month, maybe 2 months. So from the Eurotunnel, I'm gonna go down to Madrid. So if anybody knows anybody, or you yourself are watching this video and you are somewhere between the Eurotunnel and Madrid, let me know, because that's a hell of a journey. Over to Valencia. There's a Berklee College of Music over there, and some students have got in touch saying they really want to get involved. That's really sick. And then we can go past Barcelona. I'm actually going to Barcelona in 2 weeks, so I can scout out some areas, I'm thinking, whilst I'm over there. I haven't actually got any writers in Barcelona. The map just literally takes me through Barcelona from Valencia. Up to La Salle. Now La Salle, there aren't currently any musicians in that kind of area, but on the tour in November that we did, we stopped off at this beautiful, incredible castle. I think it would be a really good place to stop and feel really inspired. They've got some amazing reverby sounds in the chateau. So I think creatively it'll be a really good stopover. Also, I really want to see that team again and help them with some building or something for maybe a week. So maybe that can be the trade-off, that they host me and let me plug in the bus, and in exchange I will help them with everything they're doing, and it might inspire some songs. So from La Salle, I've got a bit of a trek up through France, past Lyon, through Luxembourg, up to Cologne, and up to a place called Wuppertal. There's a guy called Martin over there who's followed the Instagram. Martin, I hope you're watching this. I'm coming to see you. From Wuppertal, we're going past Dortmund, heading past Bremen. Oh, also guys, this is another 1,314 miles. So heading up to Copenhagen, heading up through Gothenburg and up to Oslo. So anybody in those locations, I know there's a songwriting kind of retreat place in Copenhagen with a friend of mine. So I'm hoping we can utilize some of that. That might be the final stop, and then I come back down. I might go up to Oslo. That is the trip so far. A total of just over 4,000 miles. And that's not even including me coming home. One thing that I really wanted to put out to you guys as an option is, should I end the tour and the songwriting in Oslo and celebrate and be like, boom, September, here we are in Oslo, album's written and finished? Or do I aim to get back to the UK and do the final month, 2 months in the UK? One big part of this project is that I want to be off-grid as much as possible. I don't want to rely on camping sites, and last week we were fixing the diesel heater, but being off-grid is a big goal of mine, and I realised that a lot of the heat is being lost through these. I've known it for a while, but I was really thinking about it last week, and I was thinking, how can we fix this problem? Now, something I've had in here for a while is these. What I've been doing is hooking them onto here with elastic, and these hooks have not been sufficiently holding, like there's been big gaps basically around all the edges. So I had a brainstorm the other day and I was working on something completely different, and then the idea of these came to me, and I've just put my first one up, and look at this. I'm really hoping that this solves a bit of the problem in trying to get us off grid. Ultimately, up in the mountains and up down by the beaches, it's fine to do in the summer when it's warmer, but in the winter when it's really cold, I'm relying on a lot of electricity to heat up the bus. So this has been a problem. This is another step towards March, which is snowy season when we start the album. And I must say, it is pretty warm in here, but these little steps are certainly helping towards launch date on the 1st of March. Right, Q&A time. Last week I said I wanted to answer some of your questions about the project. Starting off, Donna Marie Songs on Instagram. What is your go-to DAW on the bus and why? DAW stands for Digital Workstations. This is the program that I use to record into. I use Logic Pro X at the moment, mainly because it is super easy. Most people have it, and it means that when I'm working with producers, I can send projects back and forth, nice and simple. Answer to your question, Logic Pro X. Given Grace TV on Instagram, you've said, do you find it hard to focus on work? Yeah, not really in here, to be honest. When I change my locations anywhere and you change your view and you're constantly feeling inspired, and the people that you're with and the people that you see, I really don't find it hard to focus on work, but the bus certainly helps with that. Ugh. Zach Leon Ramsey, you've asked, what other gear apart from your Nord will you use in your production? I love my Nord. I also have a guitar from Yamaha. They sent us a guitar last year. Rolly, Nord, handheld recorder for samples, and just using Logic and trying to be as creative as possible. Also, we are endorsed by Aston Microphones. Quite a small amount of gear, but enough. Jar V Bone on Instagram, you've asked, what kind of make and power inverter do you use on the road? And what other equipment do you use successfully to run? I get all of my stuff from Photonic Universe. Great website, great staff, super helpful. I have a huge battery bank on here. My best advice, if you don't have solar panels, definitely get solar panels, because my solar panels are here, and through the summer. These are Ascend. Even in winter now, we're still getting power for those, so I highly recommend those, man. Sion2985 on Instagram, you've asked, do you ever feel cramped or claustrophobic? You also ask, any lingering smell? Ever get lonely working on music all on your own for days? To be honest, since I moved in June last year, I've only spent about 6 or 7 days like actually on my own. Most of the time I have people in the bus with me. And in answer to your question, I don't really feel that lonely anyway, because when I'm out and about, I'm always meeting people. When I've got the doors open, people always come and have a look. Loneliness isn't really something I tend to suffer from on here most of the time. Alloy S over on Instagram, how do you store your music instruments? I've got the guy to ask about this. Isaac.
Yes.
How do we store our instruments?
I don't think we can. If we told him that, we'd have to kill him.
This is probably the worst vlog entry I've ever done. It's just my forehead. Wait. Hey, Isaac's here.